Alright, greetings and good day everyone. Welcome to another episode of PNT Cinema Talk. My name is Paul Dulong, and since it's Monday, let's just jump right into it. Alright, so it'd certainly be a crime not to talk about the weekend that Furious 7 just had at the box office. So let's just jump into the results of that to start things off. While Furious 7 being in the top spot may not be surprising, the amount of money it took in sort of is. It made $143.62 million its opening weekend domestically. Worldwide, its current total is sitting at $384.02 million. Not only is this a record breaker for Easter weekend, it's also a record breaker for the month of April as a whole. The previous number one opening film in April was Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which only opened at $95.02 million. So this film just beat the record by about $50 million, give or take a few. Coming in at number 2 in its second week is the movie Home. That brought in a total of $27.4 million, and its worldwide total is now up to $179.42 million. Okay, the number 3 spot goes to Get Hard, which brought in another $1,200.92 million in its second week at the box office. Its current worldwide total is sitting at $67.30 million. Coming in at number 4 in its fourth week of release is the movie Cinderella. That brought in another $10.28 million, and its worldwide total is currently sitting at an amazing $397.25 million. And closing up the top 5 is Insurgent, which brought in another $10 million in its third weekend of release. Insurgent's worldwide total is currently sitting at $223.58 million. So that's the box office results, and let me tell you, Furious 7 killed it. Furious 7 just took that like it was not even a competition. I haven't seen it myself yet, but I'm going to change that as soon as I can. I definitely thought it was going to break $100 million, but not even my wildest dreams could have predicted that it would make nearly $150 in its opening weekend. That is nuts. And, you know, if you count Easter Monday, which is also a holiday for some people, it's going to definitely top that in the fourth day totals. Alright, so we got another trailer for the new Mad Max film, and boy, does this look awesome. I thought the first one was okay. It was looking visually spectacular, but this second trailer just blew my mind again. The villains in this film just look pure psychotic. I mean, they are insane. And yes, people, I did put the link to the trailer in the description box below, but that's only for the YouTube viewers. If you're watching it on Facebook or eBombs World, you're going to have to go to the YouTube channel for those links. But yeah, back to it. The action looks crazy. It's like gonna be a very expensive month this May, I think. I'm gonna go see a lot of movies in the theater. This is definitely gonna be one of them. It's one that I wasn't even expecting to be as excited about as I am, but now that I am excited for it, I am just happy about it. I want to be excited for this, because, you know, I saw the original Mad Max trilogy, and I didn't hate it, didn't love it. You know, it was fine. They were good movies for the most part. Not all of them, in my opinion, but, you know, they were fine. This one, you know, directed by the same director of the previous, is just pulling out all the stops. This movie looks insane. I keep using that term, but that's just what it is. It is crazy. You're going to go in and see 2 hours of bloody craziness, and I see nothing wrong with that, especially in the month of May, where that's the name of the game. Sell that popcorn and have some fun. And I know I touched about this topic briefly on the last video, but yes, as Mad Max will be rated R, definitely go check it out if you want to see more R-rated action films in the theater with this type of budget, this type of look, this type of awesomeness. Because R-rated movies can be awesome. They can make money. Yeah, PG-13 will get some more tickets sold. But here's the thing. If you live in the States, you can take your teenage kid to an R-rated film. You just need to go with them. The point is, it's not illegal for someone under 18 to see this movie. Just take your kids. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, like, not your young kids, of course, but, you know, your teenagers, the ones who want to see it, we're probably going to try and sneak into it anyway. Look, all I'm saying is, if an R-rated movie can make the same amount of money as a PG-13 movie does this summer, then that's going to make a statement. Like, ultimately, if you make your movie really, really good, people will see it. It doesn't matter what it's rated. That's just some bureaucracy crap. Art is art. Alright, so have you guys checked out the new trailer for Mad Max? Do you think it looks good? Do you think it looks worse than the first trailer did? Does this make you want to see it more or less? I'd love to know what you think. Just let me know in the comments below. Okay, so next up is a bit of news that merges both TV and movie worlds together, and that is Daredevil's Charlie Cox recently made a statement regarding the Civil War movie. The statement is as follows. I've been reading Civil War, and Daredevil does appear in that. And look, again, just to clarify, I have not been called about that. I haven't been invited to that party, but it would be very, very cool, just to be in the background saying cool stuff every now and then. It would be cool to be with all those guys. So yeah, that doesn't really say much. It's not really news, other than the fact that this guy obviously would love to join the party. And who can blame him, really? But the thing is, from my point of view, is they're making these TV shows in this universe for a reason. Or at least they should be. What's the point of having them in the same universe if you're not gonna, have them mix and mingle occasionally? And while the TV show of Daredevil is supposed to be like a hard R rating, that doesn't mean he can't show up in Civil War. Especially if it's just like a bit part in the background, saying something before he punches somebody. You know, it doesn't really matter. I'm easy to please in that regard. If I see Daredevil in the background, I'll be like, cool, that's just someone else that we get to throw in there along with Spider-Man and Black Panther. If you've been following the Daredevil marketing at all online, they had a motion poster where you can see him walking down the street, and in the background, you have to look very carefully, but in the background you do see the Avengers Tower there. So there's obviously some sort of connection. He is in that world, and I'd love to see him on the big screen, but I guess the test is really going to be whether or not he's a good Daredevil or a bad one. I believe that show comes out later in the week, at least by the weekend, and that's something I'm going to be definitely checking out because I want him to do well. If Charlie Cox is a good Daredevil, then I see no reason why Marvel shouldn't be giving him a call and saying, hey, look, we need you for a couple days to come out on this Civil War shoot, because that's what the fans are hoping for. That's the point, right? We're watching the TV show because of the connection to the movies, hoping that the TV show will once again connect to the movies. I hope Daredevil's going to be better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm not going to be talking about TV too much on this show, but only when there's a possibility that it'll intertwine with the motion picture world, and in this case it certainly does. Because we need to believe that Marvel has a plan, and I hope that plan includes Daredevil at some point. But what do you think? Do you think Daredevil should be in Civil War? Do you think we should wait and see Daredevil first and then make that choice? Or do you think that would just be one character too many in the Civil War storyline? Definitely love to hear what you think. And the news from Disney just keeps dropping. Yet another cartoon of theirs is going to be turned into a live-action feature, and that is Winnie the Pooh. I don't know how they're going to do that. I assume that Paddington is the inspiration for this. But, you know, Winnie the Pooh has been around for quite some time as well, and he is a bit more iconic, at least in our culture, than Paddington is. That may be different across the pond, but at least over here in North America, most children grew up with Winnie the Pooh as their bear icon, as opposed to Paddington. Not much is known about this project as of yet. They hired a writer by the name of Alex Ross Perry, and he's going to be writing the script. So it's just like the first draft type thing. Apparently it's going to involve an older Christopher Robin, but that's about all they're really saying at this point. There's certainly not much else to go on but speculation. And when I say live action, I assume it's going to be Christopher Robin being live action and all the Pooh characters being CGI. But what kind of CGI? Like, I don't want this to be a smirched kind of situation, because that was kind of bad. But Winnie the Pooh is certainly iconic. It's definitely good programming for little kids, even though in some countries he's banned because he doesn't wear pants. But what are you going to do, you know? So yeah, that's just a little brief thing to talk about today. Not much to talk about other than it is going to happen. We'd much rather have gargoyles before Winnie the Pooh, but that's just me. I'm sure Winnie the Pooh could be great, so long as there's a vision for it that makes sense. But what do you guys think? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it develops. Next up is Guillermo del Toro recently announced that he may not actually get a chance to direct Justice League Dark. Now, Justice League Dark is a film he's been talking about making for an awful long time, but certainly hasn't been given a green light yet by Warner Brothers, other than them asking for him to deliver a script. Now, Del Toro did deliver that script at the end of last year, but no one's heard a thing about it till now. Del Toro was recently quoted as saying, "We turned in our script revision, and it all depends on the calendar, you know? If I can do it, I would love to do it. And I think the screenplay and the characters are very solid." He's turned in the script and he seems to love everything about it, but Warner Brothers certainly isn't giving the go-ahead yet at this time. And I can't really blame them because they have a full slate as it is. However, Justice League Dark would be cool, especially if Del Toro was directing it. I love most of his movies. I mean, Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy 1 and 2, Pacific Rim, those were pretty great movies. But currently, he's also working on a new horror movie called Crimson Peak, as well as Pacific Rim 2. So this guy is going to be very busy. So if Warner Brothers wants to make this movie, they gotta lock him in soon, or take his script and find someone else to direct it. But I think they're still gonna wait because they need to make sure how the regular Justice League does first. Everything's gonna depend on Batman vs. Superman. If that movie makes a lot of money, which it will regardless, but if it makes a lot of money and is actually good, something that people are going to get excited about, then I think you'll start hearing a little bit more about this Justice League Dark project. Right now, Warner Brothers seems to be focusing on their main characters, and I get it, you gotta get them out there first. They're the popular ones. For those of you who don't know what Justice League Dark is, well, there's some interesting characters attached to that. John Constantine, Zatanna, Deadman, Madame Xanadu, Swamp Thing. I love Swamp Thing. If they found a way to throw him in there, it could be a creepy Justice League. These are like the bad, I don't want to say bad guys, but certainly the darker characters. A lot of dark magic in these characters for the most part. And, you know, that might not go with the Warner Brothers vision for a serious take on it, but if they're going all in the comic book world, have fun with it. I mean, I think it'd be great to see Justice League Dark, but I want to see Justice League first, you know? It's in development hell. It may or may not ever come to exist. But as long as the script exists and he's happy with it and he thinks it's good, then there may be a chance. You never know. But what do you guys think? Do you think a Justice League Dark movie would be a good idea? If so, when do you think would be the best time for Warner Brothers to release this movie? I mean, as it is, they're already talking about movies well into 2020. So there's an awful lot on their plate right now. I think this could happen if enough people want it to happen, but it all comes down to how well Batman vs. Superman does. If you love superhero movies, you gotta start giving money to more than just Marvel. Alright, so next up is a new international trailer for Fantastic Four has hit the web. It's very similar to the first trailer that we got over here in North America, although there are a few added shots here and there to make it a little bit different. Overall, my thoughts on Fantastic Four have not changed. I'm not excited or not excited. I'm just like kind of indifferent to it at the moment. Alright, the movie as a whole hasn't won me over fully at this point, but I'm pretty much going to buy the ticket just out of sheer morbid curiosity. This movie looks really weird at this point. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of anything in the trailers, and they're definitely keeping Doom under wraps because I think he's going to be the one that's going to make or break people's opinion on this, and them keeping him a secret is not filling me with a whole lot of confidence. This movie could be actually really awesome, but we'll never know because the trailers look really weird. What about you? Have your thoughts changed at all about this movie? Are you excited for it still? Are you going to go see it regardless of what trailers they put out? Do you think that maybe it's a little bit too serious this time around? Let me know in the comment section below. The last bit of news for today is kind of funny to me, and that is we are getting a Play-Doh movie. Fox is moving forward with the Play-Doh movie. They've put it into development. Looks like it's going to actually be directed by Paul Feig. He directed Bridesmaids, The Heat, and I believe he's also attached to the reboot of Ghostbusters that's currently underway. To me, this is clearly Fox's answer to the Warner Brothers Lego movie series that they have going on over there. I mean, if there's money to be made on these products by putting them in movies, I'm sure they're going to be clamoring as much as possible to get these things out. What I don't like is that it seems kind of gimmicky. I'm not quite sure how they're going to make a Play-Doh movie work. At least Legos, there's people with faces and stuff. You can make characters. But Play-Doh is just... Ugh, it's like, what are they going to do? Remake Gumby or something? I mean, that's a possibility. Who knows? I guess with Play-Doh, you can make anything out of Play-Doh, but I just don't know how that's going to work as a movie. I mean, we have claymation. Is it going to be like that? I mean, we already have that. It just seems, I don't know. Like I said, it seems gimmicky. But gimmicks aren't necessarily always bad, so long as there's a story attached and it works. But like I said, this is way too early in production to speculate one way or the other. I can't help but be just a little bit curious to see what this is going to turn out to look like. But what do you guys think? Do you think the Play-Doh movie could actually be good? Do you think it'll be better or worse than the Lego movie? Do you think it'll be hard to come up with a story for Play-Doh? And in the spirit of competition, do you think it has any chance of being more successful financially than the Lego movie was? Well guys, that's about it for this episode. Sorry it's been such a battle to get stuff on here lately, but I have moved my filming schedule to late at night, at least for the time being, so it should be a lot easier for me to make the content, and it'll also end up resulting in the videos being available a little bit earlier in the day as well. I think this could be an all-around win for everyone, so we'll just wait and see how it goes. But as always, my name is Paul Dulong, and thanks so much for watching. Life happens and it's tough, but I'm going to stick with this because it's just fun for me to do. I love movies and I just love talking about them. So if you'd like that too, your viewership is always appreciated. Anyway, until next time, you guys have yourself a great day and watch some movies.